So what do you do when you find a great deal, get it under contract, and you want to flip the deal before it closes? You want to find a buyer to wholesale your deal to. That's what I'm going to show you in this video in my 6-part wholesaling series. All right, so you learned how to evaluate deals, you learned how to go out and find them, and now you negotiated one and got it under contract for a great deal. The next step in wholesaling is finding a buyer for your deal. You want to actually start finding your buyers before you start finding your deals. So step one is to start building your cash buyer list. And they might not be cash buyers, by the way, but they have the ability typically to close fast. So it's a lot of times in this industry, it's referred as a cash buyers list. So who are these people and why do they want to buy your deal, right? You want to understand your target buyer. Well, typically they're going to be someone that is either a flipper, developer, or someone that's looking to buy and hold deals. They want to buy deals, fix them up, and do the BRRRR method. So how do you find these people? It starts with networking. Start going to local real estate meetup groups. Go to several in your area, find them in person, find them online. You can go to meetup.com, you can go to Facebook and look for these groups. My business partner Sunil and I run one in Arlington called Grid. We also run a larger national online group called Hyperfast Wealth Investors. You can find that one on Facebook, by the way, but go to those groups, learn who is a flipper, who's a rehabber, who wants to do buy and hold deals. Get their criteria. Ask them if they want to be alerted when you get a good deal. All right, you can also go into different real estate groups. And if allowed by the group, of course, because you want to always make sure you're operating within the rules of that group, but post in there and tell them you're a prospective wholesaler, who's looking for deals, who wants to be added to my list. So start building up that list through networking with real estate investors through those local groups. You can also network with real estate agents in your area. Look up the top agents, figure out who's working with investors, who's working with flippers, with rehabbers, and network with those agents, right? They'll often want to bring deals to their investors. So start building up your list soon. Post, by the way, on your own social media platforms. Let people know that you're a wholesaler, that you're looking for deals. When you're out door knocking, document that. Post it on social media, right? When you're about to hit the phones, post about it. When you get a good deal under contract, post about it. So you want to network and do that kind of thing to build up your list that way, but also send signals outward, right? Broadcast, use social media, get attention, let people know that you're looking for deals so that people that are looking for deals will come to you. So before you find the deal, start building your list of potential buyers. So let's say you've done that. How do you put this deal in a nice package that will get you a great price? Well, you want to make the information concise and accurate for the people you're presenting the deal to. So typically you'll present what the property is. Is it a single family home? Where's the location? Is it a condo? What's the property? What's the condition, right? If you can get a picture of the outside or inside, a couple pictures, that often helps. List the price that you want to sell it for. And it's okay to start higher. I wouldn't go too much higher than what you actually want, but list your asking price, list the property, have details about it, what it is, where it is, the pictures, and then have potential ARV options. So for every potential after repair value, list the option that lists what needs to be done to it and comparably sold properties in that category. So if you remember back in my part 2 video where I go over how to analyze the deal, I told you to analyze it as a minor flip, right? Level 1, analyze it as a major flip, level 2, and analyze it as a new construction deal, level 3. And just as a quick refresher, in level 1, you're doing cosmetic repairs, but you're not adding to the square footage. In level 2, you are doing bigger repairs, you're adding square footage by expanding the footprint or building up. And then level 3, you're completely tearing it down, building new or adding density, adding more units. So for each level, let them know what the ARV is, give them 3 examples of comparably sold properties in that level, and list the amount of work done, or list the amount of work that needs to be done in that level. Give them your estimates for that. That will allow the maximum potential buyer pool to look at your deal, because not everyone's gonna wanna do new construction. Some people will only wanna do a small flip, right? Some people won't wanna do a small flip. They'll wanna do either a major renovation or the new construction. So different investors and different developers specialize in different things and focus on different things. So if you list as many that are as possible, that will give you the maximum buyer pool. When you have the maximum buyer pool, you get the maximum potential price. So in summary, when you're presenting this deal to potential investors, you wanna list information about the property, its condition, where it is, have some pictures, and then for each level of renovation, levels 1, 2, and 3, you wanna list what the ARV is, 2 to 3 examples of sold properties, and how much work needs to be done in each of those levels. That's the package. It should be a couple pages max. Again, you want it to be something that's easy for investors and developers to read. They often look at hundreds of deals a month, so you can't be too long, but you wanna present the most important information in a concise package. So get that information out and see who responds. And by the way, if you have to call, follow up, that's okay, that's normal, right? People might tell you they're interested, want more details, then not respond. Well, potentially they're busy, all right? So again, go back to video 1 where I talk about the mindset it takes. You gotta be consistent and persistent. Just like you're consistent and persistent to market and look for and find deals, you need to be consistent and persistent in finding the buyers. Once you have an interested buyer and come to an agreement on price, you gotta get it in writing. All right, get it in writing. You're gonna use what's called an assignment of contract agreement. I have an example of what it looks like here. The assignment of contract is going to assign the deal to them for the price of the contract plus the extra, right? Plus your fee above and beyond what you agreed to it for. A couple of important things. You wanna make sure you have a closing date on here. Typically, it's good to move it up a few days closer than the date you have on the contract, just to give you a little bit of a buffer there. And you wanna make sure you have a non-refundable deposit. All right, if you find a good deal, the buyer should be willing to have a non-refundable deposit, and make sure it is considerably larger than the deposit you had to give the original seller. You wanna be in a position where if the buyer you found defaults, you have more of their money than the seller has of yours. So if your deposit is a couple $100 and then you get a $10,000 deposit from the buyer, you're in a really good position. You've more than made up for your deposit. If your deposit is small, you could probably get the seller to extend it and go find another buyer. Maybe you'll make the wholesale fee twice. That's all right. So get a non-refundable deposit, get it in writing, and get the deal inked. And again, this is just an example of the contract. I think it's always a good idea to talk to local wholesalers in your area and local title attorneys and local title companies to get examples of what they use. If you get to this step, congratulations on getting a deal done and pocketing that wholesaling fee. Now go out and do it again, and make sure you watch part 6 where I teach you how to scale wholesaling and even go beyond. Hit the subscribe button. I'll see you soon.